Hello. We are going to be working on the second half of 11.2 today. So I hope you are ready because we are actually going to talk about some geometry terms in here too. Your goal for the day is to be able to solve equations that represent geometric concepts and write real-world problems for a given equation. First, we're going to walk through the geometric concepts. I have 3 definitions here, or 3 points to help you. You are not expected to memorize these right away, but you can go back to your notes when you come to these problems. The first one says a straight line has an angle measure of 180 degrees. So anytime you see a straight line, the way they measure angles is by degree. They call it degree. So 180 degrees is the amount of a straight line. Supplementary angles are 2 angles whose measures add up to 180 degrees. You will see that in just a minute. I'm going to show you a couple of examples. Complementary angles are 2 angles whose measures add up to 90 degrees. So these are supplementary angles because the whole line is 180 degrees. It's a flat line, but there are 2 angles within it. 120 plus 60 is 180. Therefore, these 2 angles are called supplementary angles because they added up to 180. Complementary angles are 2 angles that add up to 90 degrees. Notice that this is not a flat line. This kind of looks like the corner of a room. A right angle will always have that little square in the corner. So a right angle is 90 degrees, not a flat line like this. So 45 plus 45 equals 90, which means this is a complementary angle. These 2 angles are complementary because they add up to 90 degrees. That being said, we are going to try some equations that have to do with these angles. First one says find the measure of the unknown angle. So here's the unknown angle. The first thing I want you to do, just like last week, is think about what do you know from looking at this? Well, we know that since it's a straight line, its total is going to be 180. We also know that this angle is 30 degrees. So I'm going to put that under what we know. Flat line is 180 and one of the angles is 30. But what do we still need to know? We still need to know what x represents. How many degrees this angle is. I wrote the measurement of the other angle. So in order to do that, we need to write an equation. So I wrote x plus 30 equals 180. Because we know there's an angle, x plus 30 degree angle equals 180. So in order to do that, I'm going to do the opposite operation and subtract 30 on each side to get the x by itself. So now it's x equals 150. So I will plug 150 in to see if it works, to check my work, and it will. 150 plus 30 is 180. I know this seems like a lot, but I'm going to show you another example and walk you through it again. So again, we're going to find the measurement of the unknown angle. This time, I have a 90 degree angle. It's not a flat line. It's the one where it looks like it's in a room, the corner of a room, and it has that little square. So I know that is a 90 degree angle. So what do we know from this? We know that it's 90 degrees in total. And we know that one of the angles is 65 degrees. But what do we still need to know? We still need to know the measurement of angle B. We don't know how much this B is worth yet. So when we write an equation, we're going to write B, because we don't know it yet, plus 65 equals 90, because this whole thing will be worth 90. In order to solve this, we are going to do the opposite operations to get the B by itself. So instead of adding 65, we're going to subtract 65 from both sides. That helps us get rid of the 65 and get the B by itself. So now B equals 90 minus 65 is 25. So our answer was B equals 25 degrees. But you need to check your work. You check your work, remember, by plugging 25 in to your original equation, and you're replacing the B with 25. So 25 plus 65 equals 90. Let's find out. 25 plus 65 is 90. Well, the original answer is 90, so yes, we got it correct. This angle is worth 25 degrees. Okay, you're going to try another one. Find the measurement of this unknown angle. M. So if it's a flat line, the flat line is worth 180 degrees. So we know that the total will be 180. We also know that one of the angles is worth 20. What do we still need to know? We still need to know how much this angle is worth. We still need to know how much M is worth. So I'm going to figure this out by writing an equation. M plus 20 equals 180 because it's a flat line. And then we need to subtract 20 from both sides. And we will get M equals 160 because we got rid of that 20. 180 minus 20 is 160. So M equals 160. And like always, check your work. You plug that in. So instead of M, you're going to put 160. So 160 plus 20, that equals 180. Yep, we were correct. Okay, now we're going to move on to real-world problems. These are going to be word problems, but right now you're just writing them. So you're going to write a real-world problem for this equation. 2179 plus x equals 25. So after you write a problem, you need to solve the equation. So in order to do this, you need to examine each part of this equation. So by examining it, what do we notice? I notice that there's an x. So x is the unknown number. I also notice that 2179 is added to the x. And equals 25 means that when I add these two numbers, the result will be 25. After examining this problem, you need to write a real-world problem that involves adding 2179 to a number, because we don't know what x is. But you have to make sure that whatever you add it to, it has to equal 25. So my example was Josh spent $25 at the grocery store, because 25 is my total up here. 25 is the total. So Josh spent $25 at the grocery store. He spent $21.79 on flowers, and the rest of his money he spent on a card. How much was the card? So our card is going to be X, because we don't know how much the card is yet. So I'm going to solve that by saying 21.79 plus X, we don't know how much the card is, equals 25. In order to solve this, we need to get that X by itself. So we need to, since we're adding, we need to subtract now, do the opposite. subtract 2179 from both sides. So if I subtract it here, that will just, we can cross it off because now that's 0. We got the x by itself. 25 minus 2179 is 3.21. So we got x equals 3.21. We need to check our work here. 2179 plus 321 is 25. So yes, 25 equals 25. I'm going to give you guys a couple of practice problems as your homework, and then you are done for the day. If you have any questions, please email me and let me know if you need me to go on to Google Meet at 11. Good job, guys.